I'm Sheri Melander-Smith, and you're watching Living Forward. The goal of Living Forward is to talk about issues that help people with chronic illness and disabilities live the best life possible. I'm really excited about my show tonight because for the first time since I've been on air, we're going to be talking about what it's like to have a chronic condition. 5.3 million people worldwide suffer from Alzheimer's disease. And here with me tonight is Lori La Bey of AlzheimersSpeaks.com, and she's going to talk to us tonight about some of the risk factors, some of the ways to identify Alzheimer's disease, and give us an overview of what it's like to be a family member of somebody who has Alzheimer's. So welcome, Lori.
Well,
so nice to have you on my show.
Well, thanks for having me out. I'm excited to be here, Sheri.
Absolutely. So tell me some of the early signs that we can look for in regard to Alzheimer's. I know that's one of the keys to treating it successfully.
It is. I think it's just being aware personally of what your normal habits are. For me as a caregiver with my mom, she started making a lot of lists, started double checking things. She started withdrawing because she didn't want to make a mistake in front of people. And so with Alzheimer's and memory loss as a whole, it's such a pride factor that we have, and we try to hide it. And so look for behaviors that have changed. Okay. And if you go to alz.org, that's the Alzheimer's Association, they actually have a list of 10 warning signs, and they will tell you, they give you examples of what is something that maybe you should get checked on and what's normal aging.
Oh, right, because there are some things that are similar, and we don't want people to be frightened of normal aging patterns.
And with all the hoopla about Alzheimer's disease, people panic. Now, oh, what if I have Alzheimer's disease? I just turned 51. My mom got diagnosed or had memory problems starting in her mid-50s. So every time I forget something, your mind goes, do I have Alzheimer's?
Yes.
Or is it my hormones? Or is it my age? Or is it that I'm just multitasking?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm exhausted?
Yeah, right.
And a lot of that stuff is very normal.
I know that they talk about stages of Alzheimer's. Maybe you can just briefly talk about the stages.
There's a couple of different forms out there. One says it's 1 to 4 stages. Another one says it's 1 to 7 stages. There was another article just released the other day that said there's even more. So for me, I look at the stages as really flowing and flexible. Okay. Because once you meet a person with Alzheimer's, you've met a person with Alzheimer's.
Absolutely.
Because nobody stays kind of in these formulas. One day they may not know who you are, and the next day they might. And so it really is more about making that connection with the person, and again, realizing what has changed from their social impacts, because it can be from very mild to my mom now is in her end stages, and I'm thrilled to death if she recognizes my voice and her eyes turn towards me.
One of the things that you talk about on your website is what the experience is like for you as a family member. I know you blog about it, and what it's like to help the patient, in this case your mother, live the best life that she can. And what are some of the ways that we can help people with chronic illness live the best life that they can? I know you talk about something called freeze framing, and I was hoping that you could touch on that tonight.
Freeze framing is very common, and we do it with everybody, not just the ill and not just the aging, but it's when we take a snapshot of a person and that we kind of idolize them. This is the perfect person. This is
the prime of their life,
the prime of their life, exactly. And they do everything well, and you love being around them when they're just like this.
Absolutely.
And when somebody gets ill, we all of a sudden want them back.
As we remembered them in their prime. Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that may be many years ago, but we don't like to see them kind of fade away because we've put that in our head that that's what's happening. And actually, I guess the way I look at it is that nothing stays the same.
After the patient or the person with Alzheimer's goes through all these changes, how do we best support them in their current condition?
I have come up with a a tool called Your Memory Chip. And if you go to my website, which is www.alzheimersspeaks.com.
Right, so that's www, and then you spell out Alzheimer with an S on it, and then another S for speaks.com.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
just want to make sure we get that right.
Yep, and if you go out there, you can click on this tool, and we'll actually send it to you. But there's 3 questions on there. One is, what do I want the person to know? And for most of us, if it's family or friends, we just want them to know that we love them. You know, but you fill in whatever is right for you. The second is, what do I need to focus on as a caregiver?
Okay.
And most of us as caregivers pull out our checklist. Got to get them to the doctor, got to get the laundry done, have to do this, do that,
Yes.
and we have this list. And when we have a list, we're checking things off and we're feeling like we're in control. That's
Right.
why we have the
But
list.
do you think that it can disconnect us emotionally from the person when we're task-oriented like that?
Totally. And so what I tell people that they need to focus on is not their tasks, but they need to focus on 3 things. Is the person safe? Are they happy? And are they pain-free?
Absolutely.
And when we focus on those 3 things, it removes our ego. And it's no longer about how do we feel about them in terms of their condition, and we don't grieve their loss because we're too focused on what's important right now in the moment. Are they safe? Are they happy? Are they pain-free? And it becomes about joy.
Absolutely, and really living their life to the fullest extent possible with whatever can happen for that day. Like, for instance, with your mother, simply being able to smile again and remember a beautiful song.
With the person with Alzheimer's, one of the biggest complaints is, oh my gosh, they've told me that story 45 times, you know? Or why doesn't my mom know who I am?
Yes, we can all learn to have patience, right?
Yeah.
And extend that patience to the ones that we love.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. It's about interaction.
I believe that 100%. Well, that's about all we have time for tonight, Lori. I appreciate you coming by and sharing with us what it's like for a caregiver with somebody who has Alzheimer's.
Well, thanks so much for having me out. I really appreciate having time
It's been
with
a
you.
pleasure.
Great.
Absolutely. So that's our show for tonight. Stay tuned next month as Living Forward, where we'll be having Helping Paws come with, I'll be having my own service dog, Maya. It should be a fun evening. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.